but it was one of those wins on May 9th against the Marlins in Miami that stood out above the rest. As Doc becomes just in Major League history to throw a perfect game.
Sun Life Stadium here in Miami, Florida. Josh Johnson and the Florida Marlins have just taken the field as the Phillies are Game 2 of this series, but also Game 5 of this road trip. Let's take a look at Charlie Manuel's starting lineup, brought to you by Comcast. Leading it off at center field, Shane Victorino, and it worked last night, so Wilson Valdez is back in the 2-hole over at shortstop. Chase Utley, the followed by Ryan Howard, the first baseman. Jason Worth, after a night off, is back in right field, batting 5th. Raul Ibanez hits 6th. Juan Castro making his first start at third base tonight. He'll bat 7th. Carlos face Josh Johnson for the second time in his career.
Well, Josh Johnson is some kind of big-time pitcher. They're big, tall, strong right-handers who throw a lot of strikes. And Josh Johnson hasn't been scored on in a while, and you see his left-hand hitter's only 150, and that's because he has such a changeup. Southwest Airlines scouting report, heavy fastball. He had Tommy John surgery. May have come back throwing even better after it, and he is one of baseball's best pitchers. And you mentioned he is a true horse out there on the mound.
Oh, and you also mentioned he hasn't been scored upon in a little while. He's got his last 2 outings without being. Last outing, he didn't strike anybody out. It's the first time in his career. Meanwhile, Roy Halladay, well, he has been scored upon, but he's got an extra day's rest, and there's a lot of folks that think that that is really going to help him as he gets ready for tonight's ball game. So here we go, getting ready to get underway. Shane Victorino will lead it off. Victorino, who was 0 for 4 in last night's ball game, but scored a run, and it was a big one. On the corners in the first pitch, a fastball popped up. Back at third, Hanley Ramirez, the shortstop, heads on over. And one pitch, one set aside here in the first. Josh Johnson is that he is going to throw strikes. And this Phillies team, which has been patient for the most part since the beginning of this year, may not be that through because Johnson will throw strikes, but we'll see.
Well, the problem with Josh Johnson is with all great pitchers is that when he gets too far ahead of you, he'll put you away because he has several pitches to do it, and he can strike out him. And so if you see a fastball early in the count, sometimes you want to attack it.
Well, there's a fastball to Wilson Valdez, and he takes it inside. Charlie Manuel was saying before the ball game that he liked what he saw from Valdez in the number 2 hole last night, so he figured he'd give it a try one more night. Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Ben Baj of Philadelphia. Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, and Ben's going to win a whopping $500. That's the next streak the Phillies have to get over, is hitting a home run. They haven't hit one in 36 innings.
We got a lot of bad numbers lately, huh?
Yeah, but they're getting better.
Yeah, I get rid of a few of them last night.
2-1 pitch, a fastball on the inside corner. It's 2-2 to Valdez.
Josh Johnson come out throwing fastballs. Now, I mentioned he will mix in a very good breaking ball and an outstanding changeup, especially left-handed hitters.
Opposite way for Valdez. Wilson Valdez, when he was in the minor leagues, he compiled a career average of about 300 and was a top of the order kind of guy. And that's one of the reasons why Charlie Manuel thought, well, he could probably do it on the big league level. Maybe not every day, but at least for a few starts until Placido Polanco recoups from that sore elbow.
And he doesn't know what he can get out of him, if anything, does Charlie right now. They just don't know about Polanco. So I think he kind of goes into the game thinking he doesn't have him.
3-2 the count to Valdez. Toward the gap in left center field. That one is smoked. And Valdez is going to get at least 2 out of that one. Maven plays it in quickly, but Wilson Valdez is aboard with a lead or with a 1-out double.
Well, see, that's the difference between getting ahead of a guy and then getting into a hitter's count, no matter how hard you throw the ball. And what it was, a 3-2. And now he throws a fastball that he doesn't want to walk him. And watch where this pitch is. Right down the middle. And he pulled it. Early in the count, he was defensive. He was hitting balls the other way because he was late, worried about some other stuff. But in this case, Johnson throws a fastball, and he hit that thing hard.
So runner in scoring position for Chase Utley. Chase was 0 for 3 last night, but he really had a heck of a game defensively and on the base paths. Stole a base, scored a run, drove in a run with a ground out. And he's got a chance to give the Phillies the early lead here in the top of the first.
Johnson has thrown all fastballs so far.
There's Placido Polanco. Charlie said he re-aggravated that elbow, which bothered him for the end of April, the first week of May, the other day when he made 2 plays at third base, one reaching up and one reaching out. Towards second base. Valdez will move over to third on that ground ball. And 2 outs as Dan Uggla throws out Chase Utley.
Tambourine night here, whatever it is. You know, people kid around and say, what would you do if you were commissioner for a day?
You wouldn't have tambourine night?
One thing I would outlaw, any giveaways that make noise.
Sounds like a horde of locusts running around here, huh?
It's only going to get worse.
0-2 away. Ryan Howard is the batter. Ryan is 8 for 24 against Josh Johnson in his career. 4 for 6, as you see, with runners in scoring position. He's got Valdez over at third. 4 for his last 6. And he takes a pitch inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Ryan so far this year is tied for 5th in hits and tied for 5th in singles with 41. It's kind of odd to see him sitting in the top 5 in singles, and he whips that one towards straightaway center, but Cameron Maven comes on, makes the grab, and the Phillies strand a runner at third here at the top of the first. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. Time for Roy Halladay to go to work when we return.
Building a winner next season. What does every team need? How will every division stack up? Find out on an MLB Tonight special series with the AL East. Tonight at 8 Eastern on MLB Network.
Most people think turkey's lean, healthy, boring. Unless you fry it in a big pot of oil. That's what Arby's does whenever we come across a boring food. Potatoes, fry them. Onions, same. Plain basic turkey, yep. Then slice it thick and stack it high. It's the most exciting thing to happen to turkeys since the invention of the turkey baster. Arby's, we have the meats.
Yo, check it out, dog. That was just all right for me. I mean, you got the walk, you got the stance, but I wasn't really feeling it. You know what? I'm not buying this. You gotta come a little harder, dog. You gotta figure it out. I don't know. Shaky on the walk, carriage was off.
Randy Jackson judging a dog show?
I don't know, dog.
Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Lisa saved by switching to Geico.
Oh, wow. Performance of the night.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Not many people would test 100 pans to find the right one for a golden brown crunchy pan crust. But Colin did. Now you can try any Papa John's pan pizza baked to perfection for just $10.
If time is a measure of how good something is, then Evan Williams Bourbon has something really good going. Seriously good. Since 1783, Evan Williams has proven one thing, that a good bourbon is a smooth bourbon. Many years and many barrels later, people are still reaching for the smoothness of Evan Williams. That means something, doesn't it? Evan Williams, seriously good bourbon. And for more of a good thing, try the smooth flavor of Evan Williams Honey.
Where do we keep the sauce for the new Western barbecue bacon cheeseburger?
Go west, son, where the bacon comes thick cut and the barbecue sauce flows like the raging waters of the Yukon.
What?
Left in the fridge.
The new Western barbecue bacon cheeseburger, $5 lunch.
Welcome to Dairy Queen.
Roy Halladay making his 11th start of the year, Wheels.
And he still has great numbers, even though he got hit around a little bit in that game by the Boston Red Sox, and they didn't catch the ball real well for him either.
About 7 runs in 5 2/3, and he fires a fastball for a strike.
Southwest Airlines scouting report, pitching on that extra day's rest. That's the fastball he throws, along with a lot of other good stuff. Last 3 starts, numbers not real good. In fact, his last win was the 6th of the month against St. Louis at the ballpark at Citizens Bank Park.
Well, and he said they didn't catch the ball real well for him his last time out. They haven't caught the ball real well for him lately. But Roy Halladay said it might have saved me a couple of pitches, the one error by Greg Dobbs last time. But for me, I think the 6th inning was big. To me, that's where the game kind of got out of hand, and that was my fault. And he evens up the count 2-2 to Chris Coghlan. He said he just didn't execute his pitches in his last outing against the Red Sox, and that's been the case for him. And he falls behind 3-2 to Coghlan. Gabby Sanchez waits on deck. The outside corner, called strike 3. Coghlan, I think, knew it. He was just hoping that the home plate umpire, Mike DeMuro, would give him a pass. One gone here in the bottom of the first.
The pitch looked like he was headed towards the outside corner. That's what he called it. Coghlan tosses the bat away because he thinks he has a walk. Carlos did a nice job of freezing that. You know, that pitchers really appreciate catchers that sit nice and still like that. And he even moved a little bit, but it didn't look like it, I wouldn't think, to the home plate umpire because there was very little movement in his hand there.
Mike DeMuro is the home plate umpire. Tim Welke's at first. Jim Reynolds is at second, and Bill Welke's around at third. Mike DeMuro, whose dad was a Major League umpire. He was the first umpire in Major League Baseball to ump over in Japan. He did that in 1997 just to kind of refine his skills. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Charlie Emanuel felt pretty good after last night's win because of the way the Phillies pulled out the victory and used their legs to help the offense along. And Charlie's had to answer a lot of questions about Roy Halladay over the last week or two because of the number of pitches that he's thrown over his last few outings. And Roy Halladay said, from the horse's mouth, the number of pitches that I've thrown doesn't and didn't affect me. It was a matter of not making good pitches. And he was talking more about his last outing against the Red Sox and maybe his outing before.
I think the other 2 times in his career he threw a lot of pitches like that. He threw shutouts after them. So, you know, end of story enough, Uncle.
Reaches out and pops it foul, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and Sanchez way out in front of that one. That was another curveball from Halladay, 2 away.
He threw a good breaking ball there, 2-2 to get him. He threw him a good changeup earlier in the count.
Phillies have 27 wins this year. And as we showed you before, they're a game and a half up in the National League East over the Atlanta Braves, who are facing the National League East this week, or this weekend, before the Phillies come into town for a 3-game series. And a fastball to Ramirez is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Henley Ramirez is hitting .302 with 8 home runs. It splits between South Florida and games on the road. And a swing and a foul tip. It's 2-1. By the way, I said the Braves are facing the East. They're facing the Central. They're facing the Pittsburgh Pirates this weekend.
Yeah, as they did last weekend. And they've won 3 out of 4 from them. They lost on a walk-off home run the final game of the series in Pittsburgh.
2-1 the count to Ramirez. And now Roy Halladay has fallen behind 3-1.
Quite a few pitchers falling behind. All 3 hitters so far, which is not like him, but he's come back to strike both of them out. The first 2 guys. Bureau's got a good plate for a veteran pitcher, and Johnson may get the same treatment, so the hitters are going to be swinging the bats tonight.
Second hitter that's walked away thinking that he's had a walk. Chris Coghlan, the leadoff batter, thought he had a walk and he was rung up. Ramirez thought he had a walk, and now it's 3-2. Towards second base, hit hard, but it skips right on to Chase Utley, who throws over to first, and Roy Halladay has a 1-2-3 first inning. Easy inning for Halladay, not from a pitch count standpoint, but he works it nothing across.
Not many people would test 100 pans to find the right one for a golden brown crunchy pan crust. But Colin did. Now you can try any Papa John's pan pizza baked to perfection for just $10.
At Sam Adams, we salute those people who did that thing. Built that thing, tried that thing, messed that thing up, then tried it again. For all the people who believe in going for it, failing, improving, who do their thing the same way we do ours. Because life isn't about whether your glass is half full or half empty. It's about filling it up. Sam Adams, fill your glass.
If you love fried turkey sandwiches at all, you like flirting with death, deep fry your turkey at home and risk blowing it up. Two solid options here. Arby's, we have the meats.
Weekdays on MLB Network. Join Matt Vasgersian and Harold Reynolds for TV's morning show on Hot Stove at 9 Eastern. Then at 1, it's Rapid Fire Baseball Talk with the Mad Dog on High Heat. Weekday Network.
Here's the thing about this game. It doesn't matter who you are, how big or how small. It doesn't matter where you live or where you come from. It's everyone's game.
Nice, I'm 40, Joseph! Yeah!
You can play. Your team's waiting at playball.org.
Randy Johnson, Pudge Rodriguez, Griffey Jr., big league legends in their prime, face a team managed by a 12-year-old?
Welcome to the big leagues.
At 5 Eastern on
of the second inning.
Halladay in the first struck out 2, but he threw 19 pitches. Now he'll go to work against 4, 5, and 6. Still looking. Nope, doesn't look like they're going to get one.
Not this time. Keep giving the players those mournful looks. Sooner or later, you might get one.
So stand up, show your jersey.
Yeah.
Jorge Cantu leads it off, and he'll take a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. Cantu's 5 for 15 on this homestand for the Marlins, which included the series against the Braves. 4.
The Rays for a number of years, playing in the same division with the Toronto Blue Jays.
With a 6-game hitting streak.
At least in this at bat, and that's knowing your opponent, because Cantu is such a good fastball hitter. Doesn't mean you won't throw him one. They're going to go with another breaking ball here.
One just missed off the outside corner. It's 3-1.
There's a cutter.
And he came back with a fastball.
Yeah, another cutter. Same thing. He's not throwing anything straight to Cantu so far. So Carlos Ruiz twice put down 3, and that must be 3 for cutter for Halladay. Sometimes 3 means slider.
And a swing and a foul tip into the glove of Ruiz. Third strikeout for Halladay.
That was a fastball.
So 1 away here in the bottom of the second.
There you go. That's a little four-seamer right there. And he throws it by him after all that stuff with a lot of movement. He went up a little bit on Cantu and got him to chase.
Halladay comes into this game 5th in the National League in earned run average. His ERA is at 2.18. Josh Johnson Well, he's right behind Roy Halladay. In fact, he's 9th in the National League in earned run average. The leader is Ubaldo Jimenez at 0.88.
Halladay does not have real command of his breaking ball. There you see Josh Johnson. You can't help but notice him wiping his hand on his pants a lot and going to the rosin bag because there's just so much moisture here. There he goes again. Almost every pitch he goes and he wipes his hand, and he's been back to the rosin bag quite a bit.
A curve ball in there for strike 2, 1-2. Dan Uggla's tied for the league lead in home runs with 12. Swing and a miss and another curve. And that is the 4th strikeout for Halladay.
Another great fastball hitter in Dan Uggla, and he wasn't going to see them.
There's Cody Ross, who whacks the first pitch from Halladay to third. Castro throws across the diamond.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable, just like some people like wet grocery bags, getting a bad haircut, overcrowded trains, turnstiles that don't turn, and spilling coffee on themselves. But for everyone else, there's DirecTV. For #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable, switch to DirecTV, and for a limited time, get a $100 reward card. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Wendy's new chicken tenders are perfectly crispy and tender. And with a new side of Sauce, they're even better. So now the question is, to dip or not to dip? For a limited time, try the new chicken tenders with fries and a drink for just $5. Only at Wendy's.
Don't wait until Black Friday for a great deal on the floor you want. Get a deal now and get it done before the holidays at Lumber Liquidators. Get wood look waterproof floors for every room up to 46% off. All water-resistant laminate is 10 to 29% off. Get all quick-click engineered hardwood on sale and all easy-to-install bamboo on sale. More deals from 59 cents plus special project financing and professional installation. Get a deal now on the floor you want. Get to Lumber Liquidators by Tuesday.
I did what you said, Doc. Changed everything.
You switched to the Capital One Quicksilver card. And how do you feel?
Like a burden's been lifted.
Those other cards made you sign up for bonus cash back. Then they changed categories on you every few months. Then you had to keep signing up. You deserve better. Now get out there and keep earning that 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
Thanks, Doc.
I'm not a doctor.
What?
Time to go. What's in your wallet?
It's trophy time on MLB Network. They made it to the bigs and shook up the show. But which rookies were this year's best? Don't miss the Rookies of the Year Awards Monday at 6 Eastern, exclusively on MLB Network.
It's got to be hot in that Chewbacca uniform.
What's a Chewbacca?
Did you ever see Star Wars?
No. Sorry.
Well, it's kind of a cult movie. Not many people saw it.
No, I think a lot of people saw it. I think I would probably be in the minority.
Jay Victorino leads things.
Sorry.
Off. We will get you the Star Wars gift pack for Christmas this year. We'll get it in Blu-ray. It would be great with that surround sound.
I have a feeling I have it at home.
Victorino skies it. Left center field. Cameron Maben calls off Chris Coghlan. And there's one out here in the third.
Well, if that had been somebody in a Davy Crockett outfit, I'd have known it.
Right, and then you would have been in the minority about that,
right,
too.
So that was Fess Parker. You know he just died?
I didn't know he just passed away.
Yes, unfortunately, Fess did. Born on a mountaintop in Tennessee.
Did he die on the mountaintop in Tennessee?
I don't know. I can't go that far for you.
Probably died in the Hollywood Hills.
Probably.
Wilson Valdez doubled his first time up. And he takes a fastball in. 1 ball and no strikes. Phillies have 2 doubles tonight against Josh Johnson, who surprisingly went through his entire game last time out without a strikeout. This guy is averaging a strikeout per inning, and he didn't have one his last time.
That is surprising, and he threw 93 pitches without a strikeout. That's hard to do. even in an American League park and an American League game the way that he did, because he pitched that game Sunday in Chicago.
And there's his line from that ball game. And yes, he did get the win as the Marlins defeated the White Sox. As Valdez lines one to center, and he's going to have his second base hit of the night. Chase grounded out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Over and Valdez back standing. Josh Johnson is one of 2 Marlins players that the Marlins front office has really locked up for the future and have locked up for their new ballpark in 2012. The first was Hanley Ramirez, and then Johnson this past offseason signed a 4-year, $39 million contract that is guaranteed. There was a lot of speculation that he would eventually leave the Marlins sooner rather than later, but Jeffrey Loria, who's the owner of the Marlins, who you see right there, and his front office staff decided that they needed a foundation to go into that new ballpark and a foundation in their rotation. And this guy is a mighty big foundation. And he fires a fastball for a strike to Chase.
Well, he's a true number 1 pitcher, that's for sure. And you see winning percentage for Marlins career leaders, Josh Johnson.
Not even close.
Right there. And he has tremendous numbers here in this ballpark.
He's 4-0 with an ERA of 1.80 in his last 6 starts here at this ballpark. And that's just the beginning. Freddie Gonzalez had a great quote not only about Josh Johnson but also about Roy Halladay. He said 2 guys who have a great work ethic. As Chase bounces it foul, just foul.
Yeah, you don't get this good by just showing up. You know, they obviously both have tremendous talent. There's Freddie, who Tom's talking about, their manager, and Roy Halladay. They're gifted with tremendous natural ability. But to do the things they do, and to be as superior as they are, you have to do more than they do.
Well, he went on to say, I don't know if there is a thing called an ace mentality, but I know that Josh and Roy Halladay's preparation is second to none. I think you either learn to work hard or born with it. And I think these 2 guys were born with it. Valdez goes, and Utley pulls it foul.
Good time to run. You know, a lot of that has to do with Davey Lopes, and there's Charlie checking that stopwatch out there. Davey Lopes and Wilson Valdez talking about it. But also with 2 strikes on Utley, you know, they also think, hey, he may throw something in the dirt here. He may throw a breaking ball of some kind. You know, and even if Utley strikes out, we'll be at second with 2 outs.
See, the opposition's been caught 5 times trying to steal against Johnson. And I think that's partly because they didn't get something soft. They got a real good fastball, and it gave Ronnie Paulino and John Baker and Red Hayes a good pitch to throw on.
Well, they just got a throw over. You saw the pinky go towards first base. They got a throw over after Valdez ran.
Valdez doesn't go, and Chase takes a fastball wide, 2-2.
Yeah, that's a great pitch for the pitcher to throw, and the catcher, it's almost like a pitch out if he had gone there, and that's the opposite of getting the breaking ball. Now, you know, you put in his mind that the guy was going to go, so we don't want to throw a breaking ball there, something slow, we're going to throw a fastball. So you can do 2 things by a runner being in motion like that.
Valdez doesn't go again, and Chase floats it towards center. Maybin may have misjudged it. He did! It's off his glove, and that's going to go back to the warning track. Valdez speeding around third. He's heading for home. Utley's going to be at third base standing, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, you could see he was in trouble on that ball, and then it looked like he had recovered because he's so tall, and he did get a lot of leather on it, and then kicked it behind him, or knocked it behind him when he hits it with a glove, which you'll probably see. But Utley fooled him a little bit because he lunges at this. Watch him lunge with one hand, and he's thinking, well, that didn't hit that hard. And then it's like, oh, no. And right there, it clanks off the glove. Watch how much glove that hits. Right there, he almost caught it, and he actually kind of forced it behind him.
Well, they're going to score that a 3-base error for Cameron Maven. And the Phillies will take it.
You know, you see a guy take a swing like that, and they're going to walk Ryan Howard here. You see a guy take a swing like Utley just hit, and you're the outfielder, and it's hit right at you. Your first reaction has to do what he did, and that's break in. Because you see it's like a one-handed swing. You think he's dunking it in front of me, and I don't want that guy to get to third who's on first base. And then all of a sudden, Utley, as strong as he is, whatever he did with that, he got some backspin on it and took off.
Really did carry pretty well, and that is the 40th error of the year for the Marlins. And no major league team has committed more errors than Florida. It's the second one for Maven. And there's intentional ball 4 to Ryan Howard. And this inning's still alive. Phillies have runners on first and third.
Well, the reason he walked Ryan Howard right there is he's trying to get a strikeout and to prevent a fly ball, and figure Josh Johnson's chances to strike out Worth are better than to strike out Ryan Howard. I mean, that's the only reason why you would do that. And the other reason is you're playing to the opposition's pitcher right now, Roy Halladay, so you're doing everything you can not to give up runs.
And the Marlins will set up a double play depth with runners on first and third and one away for Jason. And he takes a fastball for strike 1. Jason came into the game 10th in the league in hitting at .309. But did have an off day yesterday because Charlie just felt like he was lunging a little too much and needed a day just to clear his head. He did eventually come in to play right field. He got one at bat.
He's been hitting a lot of fly balls along with the strikeouts, and fly ball here would be just fine.
1-1 the count to Jason. And he lays off a breaking ball, and it's 2-1.
Boy, if they'll hand you 2 runs, and for the guy like Josh Johnson on the mound, you got to get him. And nobody knows that more than Jason Worth right now, trying to grind out this at bat and get that runner in from third.
Jason, Ryan Howard, and Shane Victorino all tied for the team lead in RBIs with 33. Off the outside corner, 3-2.
I don't think you run here because Jason Worth isn't a guy who grounds into double plays. He's more likely to strike out into one.
Ryan does not have a big lead off first. He doesn't go, and a swing and a miss. 2 outs. That is the second strikeout for Johnson. That's just a little cheese right here.
Well, and that's why Freddie Gonzalez did what he did, walking Ryan Howard, because he wanted the best chance for a strikeout to prevent a sacrifice fly for that second run, and they got the strikeout on a 95 fastball.
Phillies have gotten a run in this inning. As it turns out, it's an unearned run, but they got a run nonetheless. And they've got another runner at third for the 3rd straight inning.
Yeah, this inning was the first time they got somebody to third with less than 2 outs. And now they got him over there with 2 outs again.
So balls, 1 strike to count to Ibanez. Who is from the Miami area, went to high school here, lives here, went to college here, to Miami-Dade. If he wasn't drafted, then he probably would have went to the University of Miami to play some college baseball. And he lays off a fastball on the outside corner at 96, and it's 1-2.
That's a gift. Throw 96 on the corners. That's special.
And a swing and a miss at a breaking ball. And Ibanez is strikeout victim number 3 for Josh Johnson.
It's Golden Corral's all-new smokehouse. Choose from hickory smoked beef, brisket, tender baby back ribs, smoked chicken and turkey, all cooked low and slow on site. Smoke it, baby. Golden Corral, your choice rules.
Our current energy sources can't last forever. That's why Tucson harnesses the infinite power of wind and uses hydrogen to create energy. For now, it's energy that might feel unfamiliar, but for the future, it's technology that will protect our planet. Building your tomorrow today. Tucson.
Not many people would test 100 pans to find the right one for a golden brown crunchy pan crust. But Colin did. Now you can try any Papa John's pan pizza baked to perfection for just $10.
Building a website in under an hour is easy with GoCentral from GoDaddy. In fact, 68% of people who have built their website using GoCentral did it in under an hour. And you can too. Build a better website in under an hour with GoCentral from GoDaddy.
Most people think turkey's lean, healthy, boring. Unless you fry it in a big pot of oil. That's what Arby's does whenever we come across a boring food. Potatoes, fry them. Onions, same. Plain basic turkey, yep. Then slice it thick and stack it high. It's the most exciting thing to happen to turkeys since the invention of the turkey baster. Arby's, we have the meat.
Live baseball continues in November on MLB Network with the Arizona Fall League. See the next wave of Major League phenoms in action for the Arizona Fall League Championship. Watch it Saturday at 3 Eastern on MLB Network.
Roy Halladay will face the bottom third of the order. Brett Hayes, Cameron Maben, and Josh Johnson. Hayes was called up from AAA to replace John Baker, who was put on the disabled list. He was hitting just .220 in the minor leagues with a home run. He is hitting .286 here in the big leagues. And that one's off the end of the bat. A soft pop up right toward Chase Utley. And 1 out here in the third. You know, it's pretty special to be a major league pitcher, which obviously Roy Halladay and Josh Johnson both are. But to not only be a major league pitcher, but to be a number 1 on whatever team you play on. And that means that you get a chance to pitch in all the big games, but you also get a chance to pitch a lot of times against the other team's number 1 pitcher. And Roy Halladay has done that throughout his career.
I was watching the other day when they were playing the Mets, and he evidently has been matched up with Santana quite a few times. And that's a one-on-one.
Maben hits it in the air to right center field. Shane Victorino got a late start, but Jason Worth is there, and Victorino crosses behind him to make the catch. Worth just let it go by because he heard Shane calling. 2 outs. Usually the bigger of the 2 outfielders will stay there and make the grab. Wow, that was cool. That was clean shaven right there. Two outs for Josh Johnson. Pretty good hitter.
Oh yeah, this guy, Roy Halladay, should be able to handle him, but this guy can hit mediocre pitching, that's for sure. He hit some homers.
3 home runs in his career. They came in 1 season.
He won the dead center in this place. That is deep.
2-0 the count.
One of those guys, they got to put an elbow pad on it because he's a right-handed pitcher.
Last year, Roy Halladay matched up against the other team's number 1 a number of times when he faced the Yankees or faced the Red Sox. He would, from time to time, face Andy Pettitte, C.C. Sabathia for the Yankees, John Lester, Josh Beckett for the Red Sox, and he was staggering the number of times he either pitched a complete game or pitched into the 8th inning of those games. And he gets Johnson swinging on strikes for his 5th strikeout. He's faced 9. He's retired all 9 so far. We go to the 4th inning here in South Florida. It's the Phillies 1, the Marlins nothing.
If you're fixing for a burger with all the fixins, you're fixing to get the new Farmhouse King. Flame grilled 100% beef topped with a fried egg, bacon, and crispy onions. The new Farmhouse King, only at Burger King.
Drink some? No thanks. I'm still driving.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Welcome. How's it going?
Hi. Hi.
Okay, so you've got two friends here.
Yes.
This is the J.D. Power Award for dependability. Now, I want you to give it to the friend that you think is most dependable.
Wow. It's just not fair. Does she have to?
She doesn't have to.
Oh my God.
You know, but it's a tough choice, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, luckily, Chevy makes it a little easier because it's the only brand to earn J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs 2 years in a row.
That's amazing.
We took crispy chicken and married it with our cheesy quesadilla to create the perfect union. Get it with a crunchy taco, Doritos Locos taco, and a medium drink. The new $5 crispy chicken quesadilla box, only at Taco Bell.
Probably loving what he sees from Roy Halladay so far. His team leads it 1-0 as we go to the top of the fourth. In the bottom third of this order, we'll see if they can get something cooking again against Josh Johnson. Gary Matthews joins us here in the booth, and Sarge is a player when both teams' number ones were scheduled to go at it. What does that mean as a player, like a left fielder like yourself?
Well, you're looking forward to it, to say the least, and hoping that you can do something to win the ball game for it.
I guess in a game like this, if you score one run, there's a sigh of relief that, all right, we got, the extra, we got the run first. Let's see what we can do to tack on a little bit.
Well, that's what you'd like to do. You want to be able to add on and to pick up easy RBIs. They had a situation with Jason Worth up there with less than one out, runner on third base. You want to make contact. Freddie Gonzalez elected to walk to Ryan Howard, and it paid off for him.
Well, 1-2 the count to Josh Johnson. We just don't see it that often, Sarge. I mean, we think we do, number one against number one, but as the season goes on, it doesn't really happen that often.
No, it really doesn't, except for maybe the first time of the year. But a lot of times, though, when they hook up those number ones, you're excited about it, you're thinking about it. I know when Steve Carlton pitched, and maybe we were facing a Tom Seaver, you were ready to go.
Juan Castro to center field. Cameron Maven, who misjudged one earlier, was able to make the catch on that one. One away.
A solid little contact there. Now, he did lose his feet just a little bit, but recovered on that one. That one not carrying as much.
Here's Carlos. Carlos had an infield single his first time up, second into the series. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. I don't know how Steve Carlton was the day of or the day before a start. I know he was a very intense individual, but we've said this before as Ruiz drills one to left field, boom, right off the wall. He may get a long single out of that one. If for the only reason being that he hit it so hard.
Well, that ball hit like a bullet off the wall.
Right above that, I think right above the zero, the second zero in 2003.
Well, that's the kind of sound that you like. Line drives coming off of his bat. That ball there hit just like a bullet. He's short, compact. Hear that sound, and outfielder just going to turn around.
Roy Halladay, who does not have a sacrifice bunt this year, tries to sacrifice Ruiz up to second, misses the first pitch. Anyway, if you used to walk by Steve Carlton. I'm not sure what he said the day before or the day of games. You walk by Roy Halladay, and it is tunnel vision the day of a game.
No, Steve Carlton wasn't a good guy to talk to or ask anything the day he was pitching.
0-2 the count to Halladay.
And well known. I mean, if he drops something, just keep walking. He'll get it himself. You know, you just don't want to even have eye contact with him. You put him on that mound, and he means business, and he had a great chance of winning the ball game.
Halladay pulls back. It's 1-2. So 1-2 the count to Josh Johnson. I guess that's okay, though, Sarge, if the pitcher is that good, if he's that prepared and is looking forward for the task at hand, you kind of let him be a little quiet.
Well, you let them be a little quiet, and they're a little more temperamental than most.
Halladay misses that one, and he's down on strikes. 2 outs. So 2 away with a runner at first and back to the top of the order. And Roy still looking for that first sacrifice bunt. Now Josh Johnson is a little different. He's intense, but you know, he talks a little bit more on the day of a game. Greg Maddux used to talk all the time on the day of a game, didn't he?
Greg didn't really talk a whole lot. John Montefusco, the count, used to talk all the time. I mean, he would actually go to the batting cage when the opposition was hitting and tell him that he was going to strike him out. He did that against the Phillies, as a matter of fact. And this was on that team. Greg Lazinski was on the team. Schmitty was on the team.
Off-speed pitch for a strike. It's 1-1 to Victorino, who's 0 for 2. I find that surprising that a pitcher of the day he would pitch would do that.
Oh, he would. And he'd come in and say, hey, guys, all I need is 1 today. And that would work at times.
I was going to say, did you believe him?
Sometimes, yeah. He said it against the Big Red Machine, and we had to hold on for a 10-9 victory. Because he needed more than that 1 run.
Maybe he meant he only needed a 1-run lead.
That's exactly right.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Victorino. And he pops it up. Almost the same spot that he hit the ball in the first inning. Cantu, though, this time makes the call and makes the catch. Phillies do get a 1-out base hit by Carlos Ruiz. He's stranded at first. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 1-0 Phils.
Thanksgiving. The only holiday on which you deep fry the mascot. The new deep fried turkey sandwiches. Arby's, we have the meat.
All right, off you go.
Casual Fridays at Buckingham Palace? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Nathan saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Not many people would test 100 pans to find the right one for a golden brown crunchy pan crust. But Colin did. Now you can try any Papa John's pan pizza baked to perfection for just $10.
All Mad Dog, all week, all off-season. On MLB Network's High Heat. Weekdays at 1 Eastern.
The Houston Astros are world champions.
Building a winner next season. What does every team need? How will every division stack up? Find out on an MLB Tonight special series with the AL East. Tonight at 8 Eastern on MLB Network.
As Roy Halladay has struck out 5 through the first 3 innings. And after throwing 19 pitches in the first inning, well, he has thrown just 21 in the last 2. And he'll begin against the top of the order, Chris Coughlin. He struck out looking his first time up. the first pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Roy Halladay talked about hitting his spots and saying it didn't matter how many pitches he threw. He just wasn't hitting his spots in the other games.
Towards second base. Chase stays down on it. One away. Well, tonight you can not only get your Phillies alerts, but you also can get your Flyers alerts. As game one of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Flyers and the Chicago Blackhawks is scheduled for today. Gabby Sanchez pops the first pitch foul just in front of us and out of play. I would think there are a number of Phillies fans / Flyer fans who will be getting their alerts here at the ballpark. That gentleman. Sanchez struck out swinging his first time up. And the count is even 1 ball and 1 strike.
Did you happen to get one of the giveaways today?
I did not get a tambourine. I did see one last night towards center field. Victorino moves back a few steps, 2 away. I have to admit, like you, I've seen a number of giveaways over the years. I don't think I've ever seen a tambourine giveaway, Sarge.
Giveaways that we could actually give away, if you will. I mean, come on. Remember the one time they had those rattlers and they were hitting them both together and making all of that noise?
You mean the Thunder Sticks?
Thunder Sticks?
Yeah.
Oh, my. Well, this is as bad as the Thunder Sticks. And
you don't think these folks are going to go home and use these, use the tambourines at any point?
Oh,
grounded out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. They certainly come in handy at a ballpark. Well, if you don't like the tambourines and the way they sound or the thunder sticks, then you would not have played very well over in Japan.
No. Maybe not. I mean, the tambourines, the sticks, I think, were very annoying.
2-1 the count to Ramirez.
Surprised Wills hadn't said anything about these tambourines.
He mentioned them. No, he mentioned them.
I was going to say that, you know, he doesn't like noise. So, I mean, I know it had to irritate him. So.
Well, there's a big concert after the ball game tonight. This is a Super Saturday at the ballpark. Good breaking ball. 2-2 the count to Ramirez. So those tambourines are probably in honor of the concert that will take place.
But what a great pitch. Just a late break on the cutter. Late of the break. Better for the pitcher because it fools the hitter.
Pop up. Right side. Foul territory. Howard is over. Does he have room? And he runs out of room. To the count. Guy has a ball, a glove, and a tambourine. So your thought is, what's wrong with this picture? That's a foul ball into the Phillies bullpen. Nobody seemed to be that interested in getting up for it in the Phillies bullpen.
Yeah, as long as it's not going their way. Gets that foot down. You see how he gets the foot down? And those guys with that high leg kick, they have to get the foot down to be consistent and to make sure that they're driving the ball. If you don't, you'll pop it up the way Victorino's been doing.
And a called strike 3. 93 right at the knees. It's a 1-2-3 4th inning for Roy Halladay. He is dealing tonight, folks. 6 strikeouts for Halladay. He has faced 12. He's retired all 12.
Don't wait until Black Friday for a great deal on the floor you want. Get a deal now and get it done before the holidays at Lumber Liquidators. Get Woodlook waterproof floors for every room up to 46% off. All water-resistant laminate is 10 to 29% off. Get all quick-click engineered hardwood on sale and all easy-to-install bamboo on sale. More deals from 59 cents plus special project financing and professional installation. Get a deal now on the floor you want. Get to Lumber Liquidators by Tuesday.
Where do we keep the sauce for the new Western barbecue bacon cheeseburger?
Go west, son, where the bacon comes thick cut and the barbecue sauce flows like the raging waters of the Yukon.
What?
Left in the fridge.
New Western barbecue bacon cheeseburger, $5 lunch.
Welcome to Dairy Queen. At Sam Adams, we salute those people who did that thing. Built that thing, tried that thing, messed that thing up, then tried it again. For all the people who believe in going for it, failing, improving, who do their thing the same way we do ours. Because life isn't about whether your glass is half full or half empty. It's about filling it up. Sam Adams, fill your glass.
Today's Best Western is more rewarding than ever. Rewards members get our best rates and points that never expire. Fast forward to a free night by earning double rewards points with every stay. Go get rewarded. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Roster shakeups, big trades, free agent buzz. When it comes to off-season baseball coverage, Matt Vasgersian and Harold Reynolds are on the case. Hot Stove, weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
Go to the top of the fifth. Wilson Valdez leads it off. He's 2 for 2. He has scored the only run for the Phillies. Sarge, before the ball game, Charlie Emanuel was talking about Wilson Valdez being at the top of the order. And he said, well, you know, he's a 300 hitter in the minor leagues. And then Wilson said, I used to be at the top of the order in the minors. Does it carry over the same concepts?
No, because different hitters will hit different places once they get to the major leagues. You'll have guys that might hit third and good hitters that will be a leadoff hitter or hit maybe further back in that lineup. But I will say, Valdez has been holding his own. I mean, just not swinging and missing. He's got a little decent idea at the plate, and he squared some balls up.
So he's swinging with a lot of confidence, too.
No doubt about it. You can hit a guy like this Johnson, that will give you really a lot of confidence to hit against other pitchers. You hit the best. The mediocre guys, you think you ought to get maybe 2 or 3 hits off of.
Is down on strikes. 1 away here in the 5th inning. Well, both starting pitchers have been really good tonight. It's just a 1-0 game.
Yeah, when they're around the plate, that's what's going to happen. And this is just paint. Both those guys are doing. We talked about that early in the open here today. Both pitchers around the plate, cutters are throwing. That's the two-seamer. Has everybody shaking their head in the ballpark.
Well, they got 11 strikeouts between the two. 5 hits for the Phillies. None so far for the Marlins. And here's Chase Utley with 1 out in the 5th. The big difference tonight is the number of pitches that have been thrown by the 2 starters. Josh Johnson, with 1 out here in the top of the 5th, has thrown 81 pitches. Meanwhile, Roy Halladay has thrown just 52 pitches.
And you're trying to work the count just to make sure you can get the pitch count up on Johnson.
Utley's 0 for 2, but his last at-bat was the ball that glanced off the glove of Cameron Maybin in center. That led to the lone run in this game.
He hit that ball awful hard there to center field and just took off on him.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
That's a cutter, throws that ball in, a very good cutter. That's as good as a lot of pitchers' fastball. Take a look at the line there.
There's 6 base runners between the 5 hits that the Phillies have and the 1 walk. Back toward the middle, behind the bag. Ramirez has got it. He had Utley shaded that way, so it turned out to be an easier play.
Yeah, I thought Johnson might have touched that ball there. It just seemed to slow down a little bit. Maybe not. He's throwing hard, throwing a heavy sinker. Now watch this. That ball goes right through, and well, he doesn't hit it. Goes through, and Ramirez makes an easy play out of it. These are the type of pitchers you get the opportunity to score a run or be able to get one. You got to be able to do it some kind of way with that bat on the ball. You're facing guys like Drysdale, Gibson, Koufax. You don't get those opportunities very often during the course of the game.
Inside and low, 2-0 to Ryan Howard. I always marvel at why some of these pitchers like Josh Johnson and Roy Halladay, why they have trouble in that first inning or the second inning. You know, why are those the innings that you might be able to get some runs against them, and then they settle in and they're just firing?
And especially coming from the bullpen. I mean, you're already heated up and warmed up. You know, you should be really ready to go, but it takes them until maybe that third, fourth inning, they really start to heat up.
3-1 now to Ryan as he lays off the off-speed pitch from Johnson.
Yeah, that's the test for him, to be able to hit that outside part of the plate. Especially Ryan now, he's moved off the plate now. And that's a tough pitch if it's a fastball away. This is coming in. Just tied him up on that swing, not a fluid swing. Johnson varying the speeds on his fastball from 88 to about 96, throwing a two-seamer, a cutter. Comes over the top there, that 96, which is a straight one, a four-seamer.
Toward left field. Conklin headed back and then makes the catch. The ball was sinking once it left the bat of Ryan Howard. It's a 1-2-3 fifth inning.
Wendy's new chicken tenders are perfectly crispy and tender. And with a new side of salsa sauce, they're even better. So now the question is, to dip or not to dip? For a limited time, try the new chicken tenders with fries and a drink for just $5. Only at Wendy's.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable. Just like some people like wet grocery bags, getting a bad haircut, overcrowded trains, turnstiles that don't turn,
Oh, yeah!
and spilling coffee on themselves. But for everyone else, there's DirecTV. For #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable, switch to DirecTV and for a limited time get a $100 reward card. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Not many people would test 100 pans to find the right one for a golden brown crunchy pan crust. But Colin did. Now you can try any Papa John's pan pizza baked to perfection for just $10.
It's easy to think that all money managers are pretty much the same. But while some push high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some advisors have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management.
Most people think turkey's lean, healthy, boring. Unless you fry it in a big pot of oil. That's what Arby's does whenever we come across a boring food. Potatoes, fry them. Onions, same. Plain basic turkey, yep. Then slice it thick and stack it high. It's the most exciting thing to happen to turkeys since the invention of the turkey baster. Arby's, we have the meats.
Jorge Cantu leads off bottom of the fifth. 1-0 Phillies. Cantu, one of 6 strikeouts for Roy Halladay tonight. On the hands towards second. Nice play by Utley to his left, one away. That ball kind of skidded to the left of Chase, and he stayed with it the whole time.
Yeah, and it is a fast infield, meaning when that ball hits on the turf, it almost acts as if it's AstroTurf because it speeds up. That's why you saw Chase actually getting over as quick as he could. Take a look at it now. He knows that ball. Not even looking at it. He's getting over right away and makes a fine play of it.
Here's Dan Uggla. Swing and a miss by Uggla. He struck out his first time up. Right now, he's just confusing these hitters with what he's throwing.
Oh, got them all off balance. And a lot of the hitters of the day, they guess. So they're trying to guess along with Halladay.
Roy Halladay has faced these Marlins 3 times before. And you see his distribution of outs. An ERA of a little more than 3 runs per game. A 1-1 record during those outings. And included in that was the 8-inning performance he had against them earlier this season at Citizens Bank Park, which we showed you during the outset of our telecast. Last year with the Blue Jays when he faced the Marlins, he lasted only 3 innings on June 12th because in the 4th he left with a strained groin. And he's fallen behind 3-2 to Uggla.
Really pitching Uggla hard inside. He's another one of those second basemen in the league that has tremendous power.
And he stays alive with that foul ball. Uggla not only is another one of those second basemen. Since 2006, he has more home runs than any other second baseman. Just 5 more than Chase.
That's impressive.
Towards straightaway center field. Plenty of room out there. Grand Canyon of center fields and 2 outs now in the 5th. Look at the pitch count comparison. The only real rough inning for Halladay. Well, not the only real rough inning. The only long inning was that first.
Well, it makes a big difference, too, though, when your fielders are catching the ball and even maybe making that error. You got to realize now Johnson has to throw more pitches to get another hitter out.
Well, we've seen that in Roy Halladay's last 5 starts. The Phillies as a team, and this isn't only when Halladay was in the game, but they've committed 10 errors in his last 5 starts. When he's in there, I believe it's 6 when he's out there. Wow. Cody Ross, the batter, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Ross.
Well, he is painting that outside part of the plate, and this is after setting up his pitches, coming inside, moving that batter off the plate, and then being able to paint on the outside part, coming in again.
Right in on the hands. He broke his bat. He got a little squib roller to Ryan Howard, who takes it to the bag himself. Another 1-2-3 inning for Roy Halladay. 5 innings, 5 1-2-3 innings. We go to the 6th. It's a 1-run game.
Not many people would test 100 pans to find the right one for a golden brown crunchy pan crust. But Colin did. Now you can try any Papa John's pan pizza baked to perfection for just $10.
Baba Black Sheep, have you any wool? No, sir, no, sir. Some nincompoop stole all my wool sweaters, smart TV, and gaming system. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Renter's Insurance. Everything stolen was replaced. And the hooligan who lives down the lane was caught selling the stolen goods online. Visit geico.com and see how easy it is to switch and save on renter's insurance.
Where do we keep the sauce for the new Western barbecue bacon cheeseburger?
Go west, son, where the bacon comes thick cut and the barbecue sauce flows like the raging waters of the Yukon.
What?
Left in the fridge.
New Western barbecue bacon cheeseburger, $5 lunch.
Welcome to Dairy Queen.
Everybody wants to be king. Everybody wants to be seen.
Touch 'em all, Joe. The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's over. Champions of baseball. And the Cubs have finally won it all.
We will be remembered.
The Houston Astros are world champions.
on MLB Network with an all-star lineup led by baseball's only off-season morning show. It's Game On, 24/7, 365 on MLB Network.
Well, we said on paper during the outset of this game that this was a old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Well, it's not only old-fashioned, it is new-fashioned. I mean, it's everything that we anticipated. The Phillies scored their run on an error by the center fielder Cameron Maybin. They have 5 hits against Josh Johnson. Roy Halladay, meanwhile, has faced 15 batters. He's retired all 15. And he's going to stay hydrated as Jason Worth leads it off in the top of the 6th. And Jason is behind, no balls and 1 strike. Sarge, you and Milt Thompson are very good friends. You were a hitting coach for a number of years. You guys talk hitting all the time. When you look at Jason Worth, I mean, what do you see? What do you think Milt's seeing from Jason over the last few games?
Well, even on the pitch he just took, you can see he wasn't really having good balance. You know, and again, he likes his hands the way they are. I'd like to see him up a little bit more. And there's the pitch that he's been missing consistently, that fastball that is away. You know, again, when you're hitting, you got to have slow feet, but more importantly, you got to take that shoulder right toward the pitcher and not come off of it.
Swing and a miss, and Jason is struck out for the 2nd time tonight. 6 strikeouts for Johnson. So he and Roy Halladay both have 6. Well, there's no doubt Milt has watched Jason for these last few years, and like every hitter, you know, you get into ruts, and Jason gets into these little ruts, but he gets himself out of it.
Yeah, when you see that, though, the ball's away, then he has a swing as if the ball is inside. You got to be going more to, especially he's been getting all those pitches away, so now you got to be thinking maybe up the middle if you can, and to right center.
Ibanez is 0 for 2. And on the outside corner with the first pitch. And it's 0-1 to Raul. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
There's that 95 again, reaching back. When you throw that ball 95 and you see it up there, now for a hitter, you said, okay, let me stay back or let me try and see the ball, and that's when you get that little off-speed pitch, and then you're thinking fastball trying to catch up to it.
Well, this is a guy in Josh Johnson who has been very comfortable here at this ballpark. Billy the Marlin has seen some very good games from Johnson during his career. Johnson did not have a very good spring. In fact, his terrible spring carried over to really his first 2 starts this year. But since those first 2 starts, his earned run average is 1.70. And when he was asked about those first 2 starts, he said, I'm not really sure why I was so bad, but I was bad at spring training, so it was kind of a carryover. But he said he used a couple of bullpen sessions with Randy St. Clair as pitching coach, his new pitching coach, and that kind of got him straightened out, and he's been on the straight and narrow ever since. Randy St. Clair, who was the longtime pitching coach for the Expos and the Nationals, took over from Mark Wiley at the start of this year. And he's been watching Josh Johnson from the other dugout the last few years. And I'm sure watching him from his own dugout is a whole lot better than watching him from the Nationals dugout.
Well, I got to tell you, this guy's an intimidator. 6'7" he stands on the mound. Probably 250 plus. And I mean, he is coming at you.
Back toward the middle, another base hit for Castro. He has 2 hits tonight.
Wow. Those are solid hits, too, right up the middle.
Castro has 2 hits, Ruiz has 2 hits, and Valdez has 2 hits. ball and no strikes to Carlos. Carlos reached on an infield single his first time up. Then he went off the wall and left. That was just a long single because he hit it so hard. The fact that he has 3 hits in the first 2 games of this series, though, maybe that's a good sign that he's starting to round back into similar form of what he had the first 6 weeks of the season.
And you can almost tell with the hitter. He drove that ball. Good fastball by Johnson. He drove that into left field. So he had to be able to get around it and see the ball well to do that. Well, Carlos, when he swings at those soft off-speed pitches going away, that's when he's having his problems. But he sits back, sees that ball there. He's pretty quick with the bat.
May sound strange, but that's not the worst thing in the world for him to take a strike there.
Oh, no, he's smart. He's working the count and making sure he's trying to get that pitch count up.
This is the 109th pitch of the night for Josh Johnson. And it's 3-1. Here's Roy Halladay on deck.
Should be a predictable pitch, meaning fastball, but he's got to make sure it's in his location where he wants it. And that would probably be middle in. Looked like the slider or the cutter.
Hits it hard on one hop to Ramirez. Flips backhand to second in time to get Castro. The inning is over. Phil Strand 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. This might be it for Josh Johnson.
Wendy's new chicken tenders are perfectly crispy and tender. And with a new side of Sauce, they're even better. So now the question is, to dip or not to dip? For a limited time, try the new chicken tenders with fries and a drink for just $5. Only at Wendy's.
Today's Best Western is more rewarding than ever. Rewards members get our best rates and points that never expire. Fast forward to a free night by earning double rewards points with every stay. Go get rewarded. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Most people think turkey's lean, healthy, boring. Unless you fry it in a big pot of oil. That's what Arby's does whenever we come across a boring food. Potatoes, fry them. Onions, same. Plain basic turkey, yep. Then slice it thick and stack it high. It's the most exciting thing to happen to turkeys since the invention of the turkey baster. Arby's, we have the meat.
At Sam Adams, we salute those people who did that thing. Built that thing, tried that thing, messed that thing up, then tried it again. For all the people who believe in going for it, failing, improving, who do their thing the same way we do ours. Because life isn't about whether your glass is half full or half empty. It's about filling it up. Sam Adams, fill your glass.
It's Golden Corral's all-new smokehouse. Choose from hickory smoked beef brisket, tender baby back ribs, smoked chicken and turkey, all cooked low and slow on site. Smoke it, baby. Golden Corral, your choice rules.
Building a winner next season. What does every team need? How will every division stack up? Find out on an MLB Tonight special series with the AL East. Tonight at 8 Eastern on MLB Network.
As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be Brett Hayes, Cameron Maben, and then the pitcher spot. And Tim Wood has just started to loosen up in the bullpen for the Marlins. Josh Johnson over 100 pitches through 6. Brett Hayes popped out softly to Chase Utley his first time up, 0 for 1. And he takes a breaking ball for strike 1. It's 0-1. All of his pitches tonight, Sarge, are around the plate.
Yeah, he's established that little strike zone, low and away on the outside part of the plate.
That's a foul ball into the seats over the Phillies bullpen. It's 0-2.
That's what a pitcher should do. I mean, you throw a ball that you think might be questionable, and you're getting that call, or you can go back to the well on that. He's established that he's going to call that ball low and away.
0-2 pitch to Hayes. Swing and a miss. He got him on a changeup. Ruiz will fire to first. Another strikeout for Halladay. That's number 7. This has been really impressive tonight. 1 out in the 6th inning.
Now, this looked to be an off-speed pitch, throws it right in the dirt. Might be that split that he throws. It did tumble down.
Now with 1 out, here's Maben, who fly to center his first time up. 0 for 1, and he's showing bunt, and he takes it for a ball. He's been working on his bunting. There's Josh Johnson. He's going to grab a bat and come in the on-deck circle.
Well, he's not the worst hitter in the world to have at the plate.
If he's going to bunt, you mean?
No, Josh Johnson.
Oh, yeah. That's true. He could be better than some of their pinch hitters.
Well, 3 home runs in his short career and driven in 19 runs.
2-0 the count to Maben. And a swing and a miss. He swung right over top of that ball. It was moving every which way. It's 2-1.
Well, that's that mechanical swing that they've developed on the tee there. That ball away. He didn't even venture to go that way. He's just kind of swinging in that area, if you will.
He's showing bunt again. It's 3-1. He was working on his bunting with Dave Collins before the ball game.
Dave Collins, first base coach, responsible for the bunting, the outfield, and base running.
That was a real good base stealer during his career at the Cincinnati Reds. And he could bunt, too.
Oh, boy.
Towards shortstop. This could be tough play because of Maben's speed. Valdez hurries in time to get Cameron Maben. 6-3 on the putout, 2 away.
Oh, boy, that was a test. But again, we talked about it before. Valdez has a very strong arm. He can go into the hole. Not a big guy at all. He goes into the hole. He's got something to throw with.
2 outs for Josh Johnson. Tim Wood is sat down in the bullpen for the Marlins. Johnson struck out his first time up, and he takes a fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Then there's Valdez in that arm of his, and he did get him.
In the air to left field, right at Raul Ibanez. He's under it and makes the catch. Roy Halladay has faced 18. He's retired all 18 tonight.
I did what you said, Doc. Changed everything.
You switched to the Capital One Quicksilver card. And how do you feel?
The burden's been lifted.
Those other cards made you sign up for bonus cash back. Then they changed categories on you every few months. Then you had to keep signing up. You deserve better. Now get out there and keep earning that 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
Thanks, Doc.
I'm not a doctor.
What? Time to go.
What's in your wallet?
Not many people would test 100 pans to find the right one for a golden brown crunchy pan crust. But Colin did. Now you can try any Papa John's pan pizza baked to perfection for just $10.
Liberty Mutual saved us almost $800 when we switched our auto and home insurance.
With Liberty, we could afford a real babysitter instead of your brother. Oh, that's my robe.
Is it? You could save $782 when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
What we're going to have you do is each have a bite of 2 different burgers. One is flame grilled, the other one is fried on the flat top.
Definitely flame grilled.
Yeah, so much better. What you're saying is that we should destroy this flat top.
Get 2 flame grilled Whopper sandwiches for just $6. Only at Burger King.
If time is a measure of how good something is, then Evan Williams Bourbon has something really good going. Seriously good. Since 1783, Evan Williams has proven one thing, that a good bourbon is a smooth bourbon. Many years and many barrels later, people are still reaching for the smoothness of Evan Williams. That means something, doesn't it? Evan Williams, seriously good bourbon. And for more of a good thing, try the smooth flavor of Evan Williams Honey.
It's trophy time on MLB Network. They made it to the bigs and shook up the show. But which rookies were this year's best? Don't miss the Rookies of the Year Awards, Monday at 6 Eastern, exclusively on MLB Network. Due to time constraints, we'll fast forward to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Chris Coughlin leads it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And Phillies had another NBA player pitch for them. Of course, he did a great job, and that was Ron Reed.
Ron Reed. Gene Conley won 91 games during his career.
He was tall.
He stood 6'8", 225 pounds.
Oh, yeah, he's a big pitcher.
2-1 to Coughlin. Waved at and missed. It's 2-2. Coughlin is 0 for 2. He has struck out and he's grounded out.
59 in 1960 in the Phillies unit.
Won 8 games in 1960 with the Phillies. 2-2 the count to Coughlin. On the outside corner, called strike 3. Coughlin didn't like that pitch in the first inning, and he doesn't like it here in the 7th inning. But it's the 8th strikeout for Halladay.
And you can see Demure had a play game for 2 tremendous pitchers like are out there, Josh Johnson and Roy Halladay. And as Tom said, the first inning, he had that same fastball called for a strike on the outside corner. He didn't agree with it then. He doesn't agree with it now, but he's gone twice.
8 strikeouts for Halladay. Gabby Sanchez takes a hook inside. It's 1-0. Sanchez is 0 for 2. We've been saying that a lot tonight. 0 for this, 0 for that. He has struck out and he's popped out. Toward third base, a foul ball. Playable for the time being. Ruiz trying to track it, and it's back into the seats. And it's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch to Sanchez. Again hit foul. Sanchez is riding a 5-game hitting streak after getting a hit in 4 at-bats last night. Josh Johnson went 7 innings tonight, or has gone 7. He's allowed 7 hits and 1 unearned run. He's been outdueled by Roy Halladay. And it's 3-2 to Gabby Sanchez. Here's Clay Hensley, pretty good right-handed pitcher who's loosening up to the pen for the Marlins. Josh Johnson, who said before the ball game, I think the key tonight is to not change anything that you're supposed to do. Toward left field. Pretty well hit, but playable for Ibanez. 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
I bet he just threw a 3-2 curveball in this situation.
Well, what did he say? First start that he made?
Right.
That he throws his curve. It's his jam pitch.
And it's a jam and surprise pitch. And you want to see a hitter who was surprised? Watch this. Watch Gabby Sanchez kind of double pump on this. Like, oh, that's going to be a strike. I got to swing at it. And so he got nothing behind it and just hit a weak fly ball to left field. And that was a strike right down the middle with a tremendous curveball.
Hanley Ramirez is 0 for 2. He's grounded to second, and he has struck out looking. Halladay has struck out 8. He's mixed in ground ball outs, strikeouts, and flyouts tonight. And he delivers a fastball for strike 1 to Ramirez. Put a little extra on that one. 95, and it's 1-1. That changeup makes it 2 balls and 1 strike to Ramirez. Ramirez, who last year led the league in hitting at .342.
Seems on that rosin bag, and I was talking about the first 3 innings, how much he's wiping his hand and going on the rosin bag because it is so hot and humid here.
After the last couple of outings, though, he probably likes this these warm temperatures. Inside, 3-1. He has had a handful of 3-ball counts tonight, not as many lately as he had in the first inning. As Cantu waits on deck. In fact, he's had 6 3-ball counts, but half of them were in the first inning. Or 2 of the 3 were in the first. 2 of the 6 were in the first inning. 3-1 pitch to Ramirez. And he hits it foul. It's 3-2.
That was ball 4. And you got Ramirez to chase the sinker, it looked like. I think this pitcher's going to be low. Well, you know, it's hard to tell. You see from the side angle, sometimes pitches that look low from the center field camera are knee high. That was close.
On the inside corner, called strike 3, 9 strikeouts for Roy Halladay. He has stunned one Marlins hitter after another.
Drink some? No thanks. I'm still driving.
Most people think turkey's lean, healthy, boring. Unless you fry it in a big pot of oil. That's what Arby's does whenever we come across a boring food. Potatoes, fry them. Onions, same. Plain basic turkey, yep. Then slice it thick and stack it high. It's the most exciting thing to happen to turkeys since the invention of the turkey baster. Arby's, we have the meats.
Hi, I'm the internet. You know what's difficult? Armless bowling. You know what's easy? Building a website with GoDaddy. Get your domain today and get a free trial of Go Central. Build a better website in under an hour.
Not many people would test 100 pans to find the right one for a golden brown crunchy pan crust. But Colin did. Now you can try any Papa John's pan pizza baked to perfection for just $10.
In the modern world, it pays to switch things up. You can switch and save time. You can switch and save worry. You can switch and save hassle. And when you switch to Esurance, you can save time, worry, hassle, and, money. In fact, drivers who switched from Geico to Esurance saved hundreds. So you might want to think about pulling the old switcheroo. That's auto and home insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call.
And Clay Hensley takes over for Josh Johnson, who was equally as impressive in his own way through 7 for the Marlins.
Yeah, when you look at the Phillies team that couldn't score runs, not able to get them in any which way, they got a gift run here tonight to lead 1-0.
Chase Utley, he was the one who hit the ball that led to the gift for the Phillies back in the third. It was a ball off the glove of Cameron Maven that scored Wilson Valdez with the game's only run. Chase is 0 for 3. And Hensley delivers a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The Hensley we're talking about is Clay Hensley, the former San Diego Padre.
Remember, when he was with the Padres, he was a sinker ball pitcher.
Kind of came 3/4 when he was with the Padres. Not as much anymore. And that one's hit into center field. That's pretty well hit. Maven going back has room. Oh, there's so much room out there. We said that about Citi Field. This is equally as deep at this ballpark, and 1 out.
Especially in that area.
Runs and hits have been tough to come by. Phillies scored that unearned run back in the third. That's when Ryan Howard was intentionally walked after the ball that Utley hit. 0 for 2 officially. And he lays off a breaking ball, and it's 1-0. Year in and year out, the Marlins bullpen is changed. They tinker with it. I mean, every team does, but probably more than any other team. Part of that has to do with where they want to keep the salaries. The other part of it is that they generally have young players that they mix in with veterans like Hensley. And Jeffrey Loria, whose team is going to move into a brand new facility in 2012. May not have to worry about that as much in the future. But for now, he's got to maintain a certain payroll, which is, rising from time to time, or from year to year, I should say. But guys like Hensley and Kiko Calero last year, and Dan Meyer, they're brought in to complement Hanley Ramirez and guys like that.
Well, they've come up with a closer now in Nunez.
That one's hit hard, but foul by Ryan Howard. And it's 2-2.
They were competitive their first year in the league as an expansion team because they had Brian Harvey. And, not that they won a ton of games, but they were in a lot of games. And when Brian Harvey, when they had a lead, he'd shut you down. He was a veteran guy, came over from the Angels, I think it was.
Well, the gentleman you saw next to Jeffrey Loria sitting in the stands is Michael Hill, who's their general manager. There's Michael. And it's his responsibility, along with Larry Beinfest, who's the Marlins president, to, make sure that this team is competitive, but with not a very high salary. Howard is down on strikes. 2 outs. So 2 away, and that'll bring Jason Worth to the plate. Jason's hitless in 3 at-bats, a ground out and a couple strikeouts. There has not been a stretch where Jason has struggled as much as this stretch that he's in right now.
Humbling game.
Yeah, and it's only been 9 games, but it does, as Will said, humble you. That ball is hit high in the air to left center, not deep, and Coughlin makes the catch, and the Phillies go down in order here in the 8th inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils. We've played 7.5. We head on to the bottom of the 8th, and Roy Halladay heads back to the mound.
Wendy's new chicken tenders are perfectly crispy and tender. And with a new side of Awesome Sauce, they're even better. So now the question is, to dip or not to dip? For a limited time, try the new chicken tenders with fries and a drink for just $5. Only at Wendy's.
Don't wait until Black Friday for a great deal on the floor you want. Get a deal now and get it done before the holidays at Lumber Liquidators. Get engineered hardwood on to install bamboo on sale. Get better than Black Friday deals, like 21% off solid Brazilian Koa hardwood. Wood look waterproof flooring up to 46% off. More deals from 59 cents, special project financing, and get it done before the holidays with professional installation. Get to Lumber Liquidators by Tuesday.
Where do we keep the sauce or the new burger?
Go west, son, where the cut and the barbecue sauce flows like the raging waters of the Yukon.
What?
It's left in the fridge.
The new Western Barbecue Bacon Cheeseburger, $5 lunch.
Welcome to Dairy Queen.
Live baseball continues in November on MLB Network with the Arizona Fall League. See the next wave of Major League phenoms in action for the Arizona Fall League Championship. Watch it Saturday at 3 Eastern on MLB Network.
Hey man, let's play ball.
Oh, he pops it into center field. Could be trouble.
Go, 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 go.
However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
Noir and Rose are fired up for the offseason.
Off-season vacation, here we come. Yeah!
Whoa, 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 Kev, keep your shirt on. We still have a show to do.
Intentional Talk, all off-season on MLB Network.
Phillies lead it 1-0. Roy Halladay will face 4, 5, and 6 for the Marlins. It's Jorge Cantu to lead it off for Florida. Cantu is 0 for 2. He is struck out and he's grounded out.
Oh, man.
He just gets out of the way of that one. It's 2-0. That ball was not only coming at 92, but it was moving.
Yeah, with those blousy uniforms, that looked like I had a chance to nip him.
Tops it. And Halladay's got a strike. 2-1. Roy has struck out 9 so far in this game through the first 7 innings. Hit hit hard toward third. Flag down on one hop by Castro. The throw is in time to get Cantu. One out here in the 8th inning.
Boy, Halladay walked right off the mound towards Castro and gave him a nice going.
Dan Uggla has struck out, and he's fly to center. I have an umbrella over the 8 on the fly ball to center, but nothing has really been that deep tonight against Halladay. And he takes one at the knees for a strike. It's 1-1. The pace of this game with Halladay and Johnson has been unbelievable. And Roy is just getting the ball and getting on the rubber and firing. And he just misses with a curve, and it's 2-1. How do you answer all the questions about the number of pitches you've thrown in the last few starts? Well, if Charlie Manuel had a way to answer it, this is a perfect way to answer it tonight, because he has thrown a lot of strikes, and it's even 2-2 to Uggla. For Halladay as Uggla goes down looking.
That was a strike too. That ball came running back.
The last time the Phillies had a no-hitter, it was Kevin Millwood at the Vet against the Giants on the 27th of April 2003, and it was Ricky Halladay who made a couple of really good catches to help preserve the no-hitter.
That was Marquise Grissom. Hit those balls too.
And there it is, the final out. A big hug from Jim Thome. Two big guys right there enjoying what was a beautiful day at the ballpark. Cody Ross, the hitter. And he pops the first pitch up foul into the seats. 0-1. Ross hit one to Castro at third back in the 2nd inning. Hit one softly to Howard at first. And he pops it up. Shallow left field. Valdez pointed, and then he settles under it, and he makes the catch. Halladay has faced 24 batters tonight. He has retired all 24.
If you're fixing for a burger with all the fixins, you're fixing to get the new Farmhouse King. Flame grilled 100% beef topped with a fried egg, bacon, and crispy onions. The new Farmhouse King, only at Burger King.
Today's Best Western is more rewarding than ever. Rewards members get our best rates and points that never expire. Fast forward to a free night by earning double rewards points with every stay. Go get rewarded. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Not many people would test 100 pans to find the right one for a golden brown crunchy pan crust. But Colin did. Now you can try any Papa John's pan pizza baked to perfection for just $10.
It's easy to think that all money managers are pretty much the same. But while some push high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some advisors have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management.
We took crispy chicken and married it with our cheesy quesadilla to create the perfect union. Get it with a crunchy taco, Doritos Locos taco, and a medium drink. The new $5 crispy chicken quesadilla box, only at Taco Bell.
The offseason is on MLB Network with an all-star lineup led by baseball's only offseason morning show. It's Game On.
It has been a hard night's work for Roy Halladay. He is through 8 innings. He is not allowed a base runner. We go to the top of the 9th inning. The Phillies lead it 1-0. This man has been on the precipice of history during the course of his career, and he has spun an unbelievable outing tonight. Very few have gone near him in the dugout. Very few go near him anyway, but look at that line. 10 strikeouts over 8 innings, no hits, no walks. And as we go to the top of the 9th inning, Leo Nunez is on for the Marlins, and Raul Ibanez leads it off for the Phillies.
Yeah, and the reality of the game, besides all this unbelievable stuff going on with Halladay, it's 1-0.
1-0.
So they're going to use Nunez here to keep it to a 1-run game.
Very good point.
Try and keep it to a 1-run game at home. This is some game. We started it as a pretty good matchup here tonight. These two right-handers. And it's not been bad.
And we always say when we have these kind of matchups, well, on paper it's this, on paper on that. Very few times does it turn out to be like this.
Pretty good.
Yep. Josh Johnson, the starter for the Marlins, went the first 7. Clay Hensley pitched the 8th. And now Nunez here in the 9th inning. The man is a thinker, and you wonder what he's thinking about right now. You know what he's probably thinking about? Brett Hayes, Cameron Maybin, and a pinch hitter in the bottom of the 9th inning.
He's thinking about winning the game, too.
3-0. He got the green light, and he rolls it right inside the first base bag. 1 away. Sanchez takes care of Ibanez.
You think about a hitter off their bench. They have one left-handed batter, and that's Mike Lamb. So, there's a pretty good chance we're going to see him in the 9th inning.
They have one of the game's better pinch hitters in Wes Helms, but he's a right-handed hitter. Here's Castro, who has 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 3. He doubled back in the 2nd, flied out to center in the 4th, and singled in the 6th. And he hits it in the air to right, pretty deep, but it's playable for Ross. There's no man's land out there in right. 2 away in the 9th. Carlos Ruiz has 2 hits. He is an infield single, and he drilled one to left back in the 4th, and he's also bounced into a fielder's choice. Phillies lead the division by a 1.5 over the Atlanta Braves, who are leading their ball game against the Pirates. The Marlins are the bottom team, 4 games out. Waiting on deck. And Carlos takes a fastball for a strike. It's Leo Nunez has had a good year for the Marlins, an ERA of 2.21. He has a very good fastball and a really good changeup. And he's ahead 0-2 to Ruiz. They got him in a deal for Mike Jacobs from the Kansas City Royals, and what a find he became. Speaking of fines.
Yeah, well, he was kind of guaranteed.
Yeah, he was.
He's been pretty good before he got in this unit.
Stays alive. He wasn't sure whether to swing, whether to stop, or then swing again.
Here tonight, too, the way he's handled Roy Halladay, watching it, you don't always know when they're shaking off, because sometimes guys will stare in when they want another pitch. They won't necessarily shake or do something with their glove, or they'll just keep looking in there. But they have been in a very, very good rhythm tonight.
Absolutely. Again, he fouls it off. There remains no balls and 2 strikes. Let's face it, it's important whenever a pitcher puts together the night that Roy Halladay has put together, that the defense plays sound behind him, and he's gotten some good defensive plays. There was one by Chase Utley earlier in the game to his left on a ball that just kept on scooting to his left that he tracked down. The play by Castro over third, but then sometimes you see all those highlights of the sound defense behind him. You kind of forget about the catcher.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring that up about him. What a good job he's done tonight.
So also given him a few extra moments to catch his breath in the on-deck circle with these foul balls.
Pitchers and catchers, there's a rhythm involved, and especially with a veteran guy. This guy, Moyer tomorrow, they don't want to be out there shaking off. You know, they have a game plan. They go over with a catcher and a pitching coach before the game. There's Jamie, and they want to execute it.
Towards second base, softly hit. Uggla's got it. Throws to first. The inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies. Here in the top of the 9th inning, Carlos Ruiz will take the slow stroll back to the dugout. The Phillies as a team will start to settle down into their positions as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Roy Halladay has a 1-0 lead. He has faced 24 batters so far, and he will go back to work without allowing a base runner.
Thanksgiving. The only holiday on which you deep fry the mascot. The new deep-fried turkey sandwiches. Arby's, we have the meat.
It's a small finger, a worm.
Like a dagger?
Tiny sword.
Breadstick.
Matchstick.
A lamppost.
Coin slot. No.
10 seconds.
A stick, a walking stick, a boundary, monkey with a jar, a big
Sorry. It's a tandem bicycle.
What?
As long as sloths are slow, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's Golden Corral's all-new smokehouse. Choose from hickory smoked beef, brisket, tender baby back ribs, smoked chicken and turkey, all cooked low and slow on site. Smoke it, baby. Golden Corral, your choice rules.
Not many people would test 100 pans to find the right one for a golden brown crunchy pan crust. But Colin did. Now you can try any Papa John's pan pizza baked to perfection for just $10.
At Sam Adams, we salute those people who did that thing. Built that thing, tried that thing, messed that thing up, then tried it again. For all the people who believe in going for it, failing, improving, who do their thing the same way we do ours. Because life isn't about whether your glass is half full or half empty. It's about filling it up. Sam Adams, fill your glass.
Wendy's new chicken tenders are perfectly crispy and tender. And with a new side of Sauce, they're even better. So now the question is,
To dip or not to dip?
for a limited time, try the new chicken tenders with fries and a drink for just $5. Only at Wendy's.
Randy Johnson, Pudge Rodriguez, Griffey Jr., big league legends in their prime, face a team managed by a 12-year-old?
Welcome to the big leagues, kid.
Little Big League, today at 5 Eastern on MLB Network.
Bottom of the 9th inning here at Sun Life Stadium in South Florida. The Phillies with an unearned run in the top of the 3rd lead it 1-0. Roy Halladay has faced 20. He's retired all 24. He has had a handful of 3-ball counts and a handful of 3-2 counts tonight. But he has been around the plate, and when he's needed a strikeout, he's gotten a strikeout. Now, the last no-hitter here in South Florida was from tomorrow's starting pitcher, Anibal Sanchez, September 6th, 2006. And who can forget the ground ball to shortstop that finished it off, and how long it took for this throw to get over to first. And the no-hitter was complete by Sanchez.
Coming up right out of the chute.
Mike Lamb will pinch hit for Brett Hayes to lead off the bottom of the 9th. And a breaking ball a little low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Lamb, who was just recalled from the minor leagues just a couple days ago. It's one hard but foul, and it's 1-1. Overall, he's batting .211 with no homers and 3 RBIs. And he's had 14 at-bats against Halladay for his career. 2 hits during that time. What a night for Philadelphia. You got the Flyers and the Blackhawks playing in the Stanley Cup Finals. And you got Roy Halladay twirling a masterpiece down here in Miami.
Quiet bullpen. 1-0 game.
In the air to center field. Pretty deep. Victorino on the run toward the warning track. Roy Halladay is 2 outs away.
Not using the ballpark because this place is huge. And he kept it in the middle of the field, and Shane ran it down. That was a deep fly ball.
The last perfect game in Phillies history. Who could forget Jim Bunning at Shea Stadium?
Father's Day. Got Johnny Stevenson for the last out on a swing and a miss on a breaking ball. There it was.
That was a heck of a pitch right there. You talk about movement. There was a whole lot of movement right there.
Well, Buns had a pretty good breaking ball. I shouldn't call him that. He's a senator now. But he wouldn't mind.
Mr. Senator had a pretty good breaking pitch that day. Halladay just standing on the mound. There's Cookie Rojas. Where was he when that perfect game was thrown? Well, he was playing shortstop and played a little left field that day. He was 1 for 3 behind Jim Bunning.
Yeah, Wino came in that game. Bobby Wine played short, and Tony Taylor was the second baseman.
Wes Helms will pinch hit with 1 out here in the 9th inning. Maben was up at the plate, and they called him back. And Helms takes one at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Josh Johnson went 7 for the Marlins. He allowed an unearned run. He struck out 6. Roy Halladay hasn't needed any help tonight. Swing and a foul tip. It's 0-2. So many folks say he's not a strikeout pitcher. Well, he's got 10 tonight.
Great shot of the pitch.
Ooh, and it just missed. They're guarding the line at third. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Helms. On the inside corner, strikeout number 11. And Halladay is 1 out away from completing a perfect game. 3 straight pinch hitters. Boy, he is just painting.
Well, that's the way he's been all night. You know, he had a home plate umpires had corners on the plate tonight, and he's taking advantage of it.
Paulino, a 5-game hitting streak. Swings at the first pitch, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Charlie Manuel hasn't moved in quite some time, nor is Rich Doobie. 1-1 the count to Paulino. Earlier this week, Charlie was moving every which way in that dugout, trying to change his team's luck. He doesn't want to change anything tonight. 1-2 the count.
Change up.
So the wiggle of the fingers from Carlos Ruiz. Paulino down to the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Those tambourines are coming in handy now. Everybody on their feet. Halladay's got his signs. The 1-2 pitch. Hit toward third. Castro has it. Spins. 5. Roy Halladay has thrown the second perfect game in Philadelphia Phillies history. He faces 27 batters. He retires all 27. It's the 20th perfect game in baseball history and the second one this year.
He finally smiles for this. Boy, this is a throw.
That man has seen so much during his career. These fans, well, they probably believed from the 4th inning on. What a night here in South Florida as Roy Halladay has thrown a perfect game. He didn't crack a smile all night long. He can crack as many smiles and as many bottles of champagne as he wants to now.
What a throw. Watch that.
Unbelievable.
Well, you know, come to a Major League Baseball game, you tell people you never know what can happen when you show up, and tonight you thought you might see a pretty good pitching performance. A perfecto in a Phillies uni. Wow.
They call it Super Saturday here in South Florida. Well, when they called it that, I'm not sure if they expected this.
Hi, I'm Robert Flores. On November 7th, the baseball world lost former Philly and Blue Jay pitcher Roy Halladay when he died in a plane crash off Florida's Gulf Coast at the age of 40. Known as one of the game's hardest workers and best pitchers, Doc was an 8-time All-Star, one of just 6 pitchers to win the Cy Young in both leagues. In his first career postseason...